How we doing, guys? We are the fourth or fifth or sixth YouTube channel to the party because we're not about speed on this podcast.
We're about performance.
We're about doing it when we have time.
Right. That's the performance.
So we're going to run through the Arnold Classic for the men and the women. Our rough predictions here early. We're still 7 or 8 weeks out.
Yeah.
And some of these events, being maxes especially, I think how people peak is really important part of predictions. So it might even be fun to do this again somewhere closer to the show.
We can also talk a little bit about how people have historically peaked well or not well.
Sure.
But yeah, we probably should.
But yeah, so we might even do this again when the show gets closer because so many things can change 7 or 8 weeks. But we're just going to give our initial predictions. We're going to do it the way we did the Shaw Classic Strongest Man on Earth predictions.
And made less people mad.
Yes. So top three, our predicted top three in each event, and maybe like a dark horse you wouldn't think is going to be good in that event. So going to run through the men. We got Hooper Thor, Tom Stoltman, me, Bobby Thompson, a big old T-Rex, Trey Mitchell, Austin Andrade, Nick Guadione, Matus, and Maxime Boudreau. You literally can't say Guadione. Guadione.
You do have Max last on the list, but he's first in our heart. I want to make a note of that.
Yeah, Maxime Boudreau. Actually,
love you.
To start over, Max was the first one invited.
Yep. And he's the.
It's not a show without Maxime Boudreau.
He's first in our heart.
Yeah. Okay. Just to be clear.
Very clear.
Okay. You'll go through the women.
Women's: Aaron Murray, Mel Peacock, Sam Beliveau, Nadia Stowers, Rebecca Roberts, Gabby Dixon, Inez Carrasquillo, AJ Jardine, pardon me, Lucy Underdown, Andrea Thompson, Olga Leashuk, and Jennifer Lyle.
Yes.
12.
So, 11 dudes, 12 ladies.
Because reasons.
Yes. Pretty cool events. This is my favorite set of Arnold events in recent history.
Dude, I'd say in the last 5 years for me.
I would no. I think the only recent year where I thought was just as cool events
Squat.
was the squat year.
That was a really cool set of events.
R.I.P. JF Caron.
We love you. We love you.
Yes.
Rest in power. He's not actually dead.
He's not dead. It just took his knees from us. So Elephant Bar for Max.
Yeah.
A staple.
Are we doing the men first or women first?
Oh, I'm just going through the events real quick. Press medley, which will be a dumbbell, a natural stone into reps on the log. The timber carry, as always, with maybe some amended weights.
Yep.
Day 2 is going to open with a max jerk off the blocks.
The big jerk.
The big jerk. The timber challenge, which is Steve Slater having fun in his workshop and designing something potentially really cool.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
We really don't. We haven't even seen it yet, so we'll see.
It seems like it could be great.
Could be really great. You know, I like they're taking a risk. And then the final event is stone to shoulder, and on my little noteboard I wrote S2S.
S2S, baby.
S2S.
It's an Atlas stone, too.
Yes, it's just a straight up, I bet a very new, smooth Atlas stone.
Slick as hell.
Straight out of Steve's workshop.
Steve, bring the rough one, please.
Yeah, let's rough that stone up a little bit, please. All right, so I guess we'll go through those events with the ladies first. Our top three.
Top three,
picks,
I think,
and maybe a dark horse that you wouldn't expect.
Sure. I think it's pretty predictable. I think the top three, I'll give the order that I think will be in.
In the Elephant Bar?
In the Elephant Bar deadlift, we'll have Lucy Underdown will more than likely win the event. Andrea Thompson more than likely take second in the event. And historically, Olga Leashuk is a very comfortable third, I would say, for that event.
Sure.
Now, I know athletes like Nez, for example, just took fourth in the max deadlift at the Rogue, but there are other deadlifters here that are really good. And I think someone that people wouldn't necessarily assume would be Jennifer Lyle. Really big puller. I could see her pulling in the sixes. Depending on how Sam Belivo's peak goes, she has pulled in the sixes. Mel Peacock, pardon me. The other Canadian. Phenomenal puller, and also a really good puller, Gabby Dixon.
Yeah.
So, it is not a guaranteed top three.
That third spot's going to be tight.
That third and fourth, big fight.
I think it comes down to who's intelligent with their weight jumps that they pick. We get to select our attempts.
Yes.
And a name you did mention is Nadia Stowers with this extra bendy bar with her long limbs.
I didn't mention her, but that's mostly because I know that she isn't feeling the best.
Gotcha.
And I don't want to go too much into that.
Gotcha. So, yeah, no, I'm pretty comfortable agreeing with you on those top two. If I had to pick a third, I'm probably going to go Gabby.
I would say a third is either going to be Gabby or Olga.
Yeah.
Pretty comfortably.
Yeah.
Olga's so experienced. She's the gamer of gamers.
And she's pulled on the bar.
She's
Gabby
pulled on
has
the
never
bar.
pulled on the bar.
No. Funny enough, the only two women to finish the deadlift, well, until recently, I should say, but the only two women until very recently to finish the deadlift ladder at OSG was Lucy and Gabby. So, and the last bar was 600 pounds there, and that was in a medley. So we have very accomplished athletes going into this. Press medley, you heard the man, dumbbell, stone, log.
Yeah.
I'm probably not supposed to say this, but the log is for reps at the end.
Yeah.
And there might be more than one option. Oops. Sorry, Jan. I won't give out the weights, but you could probably guess.
Well, so given that,
Yeah.
the competition is really between the people who can do the big log for reps. That's what the competition
And
is.
there's only two women that can do that.
I think the dumbbell and the stone are just a quick buy-in.
It should be.
Yeah, it should be.
You will see some struggles in the dumbbell.
But there's some weird people who are just bad at dumbbell,
Right.
or can't get a handle on the stone. Like we'll see that in the men. I have someone very, very much in particular
Yeah.
that I'm going to talk about in the men. But for the people who are really buying for the top spots, it's just a log contest.
Yes.
Yes.
You have a good amount of time to do it as well. So with that being said, top three, I'll say in this order. I'm pretty comfortable saying the order will probably be Nez. I see Nez winning this event. I see Andrea Thompson having another top two performance, at the second event, first event. I think she takes second. And then the third is really where things kind of come down to.
Doesn't she struggle on the dumbbell, though?
She does, but it's a weight that I know
It's
she can
light
handle.
enough she can do it,
It's a
yeah.
weight that I know she can handle perfectly fine.
Sure.
Especially with being the first implement too, And then so the third and fourth spot, we'll just go into the third first, is really up for grabs. It's going to be a big dogfight there. And I think the third spot is going to be contested on the lighter of the two options of the log. I don't think it'll be any other woman hitting everyone.
I do. Nadia.
I think
There's three women on this list that have done a 300-pound log.
is true.
It is Nadia's one of them.
I'm having a real hard time.
I also think AJ has the capacity. She has reps.
Oh yeah,
AJ has done.
So I'll scratch my. AJ will take third.
AJ will take
she
third.
will beat
She
Nadia.
can go. She should go for the big log. Even if she gets one, I think that's a very comfortable third.
Oh, I think if AJ's being really, really intelligent, and obviously things depend on how the rest of the peak go. We still have 7 training weeks. I think she only needs to do one on the heavier log, and she'll take third. And I think it's huge points.
Is there anybody we're missing that might get the big log?
I think athletes like Olga and Mel have a shot.
They have a shot at it. Yeah,
I would say they're the dark
big
horses.
presses. It just comes down to what the peak's like and how much those first two implements take out of them.
Which should be 0 for both of them.
They're both super fit, super
Yeah.
technical. They're
So-
probably the two most technical in the show.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that dark horse / third spot, Olga and Mel.
Yeah.
If all things go well,
And
they feel good.
There'll be a big dogfight on that lighter log, I believe.
That's where most of the show will be on the women's side. It'll be on the lighter log.
On the lighter log.
And you'll see anywhere from 2 to 4 reps, I bet.
Yep.
That'll be the averaging.
Yep.
Next event.
Timber carry up the ramp.
Ooh, now this is an interesting event. Okay, so I think
Who won last year? Andrea?
Andrea. Andrea won.
Yes. Just
And-
torque and horsepower up the ramp.
Yeah. So I think day one is Andrea's day.
Andrea's day.
Honestly, very similar to that of the Rogue.
Yeah.
She's just going to come out. She's very consistently going to be either first or second. And I think it's going to go the exact same way in that timber carry. I think Andrea smokes that. I don't care if they raise the weight. Andrea's hands are strong. Andrea's speed is fast. She has the incredible back power. So I think Andrea wins the third event of the day, which would be the timber carry. And then second and third, big fights here. Because we have athletes like
Roberts can do it.
like Rebecca Roberts. We have 3 athletes who 2 I know for a fact can do it, 3 that should be able to do it. Right. So you have Rebecca Roberts, you have Andrea Thompson, not Andrea Thompson, you have Rebecca Roberts, Lucy Underdown, and Nez.
Gabby can for sure do it.
And
too.
Gabby, right? So the only thing Gabby's got to work on is the foot speed. She has the best grip there. So it's a lot of big points there. It's a lot to be fought for. In theory, like someone like Nez has the foot speed, she has the strength. It's like, can she get over the mental hurdle of what happened last time?
Yeah.
Personally, I think she's going to be fine.
Yep.
Her training's going fine. She's hitting she's already hitting PRs on frame. That's good. Similar to the exact same scheme that you're doing. So that's good, but that's all on paper. That's all in theory, right? But what's actually has happened in the past, what actually has happened where athletes do well is Lucy, AJ, Rebecca, and now with Gabby involved, it makes second, third, and fourth really up in the air.
Like just finishing
Yes.
is probably going to be like a
Top 4.
sixth.
Yeah.
Well, no, but like
Could.
because all those girls
Yeah,
you just said
yeah,
are going to finish.
Yeah, it could be up to 6, right?
Right? Like
So-
if you were a person who would finish slow, which is kind of a rare thing to happen on this frame. You either finish it somewhat quickly or you don't finish.
Yeah, or you drop at the top and you then just get it
And
over,
kinda
or you just
scoot.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we missing something? Olga, Jennifer Lyle, maybe? I'm unfamiliar with Lyle's grip.
Lyle's grip, I think, is fine. I think where she's going to struggle is the weight itself.
It's just big weight.
And she is a very short athlete.
Yeah.
Which this is not as advantageous for, especially if you have to drop again.
Yeah, because that second pick,
It's hard. It's
I
very
just
hard.
yeah, that's actually my big consideration on the ramp too. I
Right.
don't know if there's not a man my height or shorter that's ever finished it.
Is that true?
Yeah,
Lala's finished it.
when it was strapped in.
True. so
It's just, I mean, Lyle's going to be a big question mark all weekend. It's just like it's a new
big show.
And a lot of these ladies have gotten to touch this equipment before.
Right, and that's a huge advantage.
It's a huge advantage.
So I think that's your top 4, top 5 right there.
Yeah.
And if all things go considered.
So
ending the day, I think Andrea's whooping ass.
Andrew's whooping ass. Nez is right there.
Yeah, I predict
AJ
Nez
is
being
right
in
there.
3rd or 4th at the end of day 1 with a very small separation.
That's pretty fair.
Yeah.
So day 2 with the big jerk off the blocks.
I think this is pretty obvious.
That's not for first place. It's not. I don't think it's a contest.
No, Nez is going to destroy this. She's hit 170 kilos off the blocks before with an axle, which is way harder.
Yeah.
So that's 374 for those that don't do kilos. So Nez is going to win that event. Now, for someone like Nez, in order to have the weekend that she wants to have, which she wants to win, she needs people to create separation for her, which I actually think there's a ton of people here to do that.
Yeah.
So I think in first place, we're going to have Nez. In second place, with her pressing power considered, it should be Andrea. I don't know if she has the mobility, but her pressing power is crazy.
Yes. If somebody has the legs underneath them to put 340,
and shoulders,
350 over the head, it should be her.
Yeah. I just don't know. It's all theory.
My second place pick for this event is Mel.
Yeah.
Depending on how clean her split jerk is.
Yes. So that's where I'm going with this. I think Mel is going to take second, probably with 140, 145 kilos. Mm-hmm. So 309 to 320, let's say. And then we could also have another big upset in Sam Beliveau, who just smoked 300 8 weeks out.
Which that's way bigger weight than I thought she could hit this far out.
Right.
But those are two of the fastest, most technical athletes in the show.
Right. And they have mobility.
This event will cater to the fast, explosive athletes that are technical.
So that's actually my top 3 for that event.
I have a hard time doing that. Has Olga ever split jerked in her career?
Not that I've seen. She push presses everything that I personally have seen.
Sure, and that's the interesting thing because I think this event is going to force some technical changes out of the people who are smart.
Yeah,
AJ is learning to split. Can you do it in 8 weeks? I don't know.
Yeah, and AJ she's going for it.
Yeah,
and she just hit. Well, maybe I shouldn't say it. Well, she posted it. She had 120 kilos.
Yeah,
the other day.
So it's interesting. It's more up in the air than I think the men's side is.
Yes,
the women's side, it's going to be a dogfight between that 290 and 330, and Nez and maybe one person are going to crack above 330.
I don't even think it'll be up to 330. I think that most of the fighting will be between 265 and 305. I think almost all the fighting will be, and then you'll have 2 outliers.
Sure,
maybe.
But it's interesting being that it's a rising bar. As people get comfortable and get a feel for the technique, I think that's where I'm leaning towards. I think some slightly bigger weights than you think are going to go up.
I hope so. That'd be great. It'd be great for the show.
Yeah, it will be.
So that's my top 3 there. And then what do we got
Timber
next?
Challenge.
Timber Challenge. Now, based on how we've been described this event, it's going to favor tall athletes, based on how it's been described to us.
Yeah. Tell me that.
I know. It is what it is. There's some things that we're working on that we will not share to hopefully mitigate that, but it's going to favor taller athletes. So someone like Nez, Rebecca Roberts, Lucy, I actually think that's the top 3 right there. I think it's Nez, Rebecca Roberts, and Lucy.
I think the thing that could throw a wrench in what you're thinking is how hard is the drag.
Yeah.
And if the drag is just messed up hard, that's when AJ and Gabby come in to win.
Yeah, depending on their foot speed on the loading.
It's just the pure horsepower.
Yeah, but that also comes down to how the implement has to be carried.
Yeah.
And because those ladies are not... They're bigger.
They are. No.
They're just bigger.
I have the same thing on the men's side. I have to carry stuff different than Hooper.
Yeah, their circumference. I don't think
bigger people.
It's going to make them a little slower.
Yeah.
So, but someone like AJ, who is just a tank when it comes to pushing or pulling things, could she make up that speed? Right?
Yeah,
it's possible.
And it's only a 10-meter course. I don't know how much of an endurance event it's going to be.
Yeah.
I hope it's heavy enough that it becomes one.
Yeah, I hope so too.
But if it's so messed up heavy, I think that event goes to somebody like AJ. If it's a speed technical challenge, you're completely right on your top 3.
Yeah, I personally still think my top 3 is going to stay the same.
Yeah,
even if it is that heavy, I think those ladies are so experienced with dragged events in particular, having done OSG a lot, and they're all 6 foot or taller.
Sure,
I think the advantage is too much.
They got the strides. They got pretty strong legs, especially in the case of Nez.
Yeah, no one has stronger legs than her there, besides maybe Andrea.
Yeah,
and she's unfortunately just a little too short, I think, for this event to be top 3.
That's hard to say. Like, it's almost not even worth predicting that event on either side.
Yeah.
Until we see it.
But that will be my that's my guess. That's my safety net guess. And you could put one of those top 3 in any order. It doesn't matter. I think it's the top 3.
If it is just a speed technical challenge, like if it turns into a drag race,
it could be Mel.
It would be Mel. Yeah, that's where I'm going.
Yeah. It could be. I just don't think it will.
Yeah. It just the weight selection on that event is super important.
Yeah, and I frankly hope it's heavy as hell. What's the Arnold?
Stone to shoulder.
Ooh, now
Final event.
This is fun because there's only 2 women on the planet to have ever shouldered 300 pounds or more, and they're both in the show, right?
Yeah.
And that's really cool. It's Nez and Nadia.
Nadia's shouldered 3 bones?
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I think...
But they both used tacky to do it.
They did.
And it sounds like they're going to be pretty strict on us to not use tacky.
Yeah, there's no tacky in the show. But the power's there.
Sure.
So the weights are heavy, and I like that. My top 3 in that event, I think, will be... Nez, I think Nez wins. I think Olga takes second. I think Nadia takes third.
Yeah.
That's
well,
what
we can't really give away the weights, but it is Trump style. There will be a light option and a heavy option.
And frankly, both options are heavy as fuck.
Pretty heavy.
They're both heavy.
Yeah, like a lot of these women are going to battle for the light one.
I think
get a rep at the light one.
I think they went
heavy.
I think of the 12, 9 to 10 will be on the lighter one. That's what I think.
Yeah, and maybe half of them could zero. It could.
Yes.
It's a big ask. It's because you also run into as the athletes get smaller, stone to shoulder becomes very treacherous. There's just not much surface area to hold on to. Like we were just in the gym training with Erin last week, and she's got all the power in the world in her extension, but she gets this stone up on her shoulder. There's not much shoulder.
It's so cumbersome to start with, and then when you have less total surface area as a human, it's very hard.
Yeah, she spent 5 seconds working up the courage to be like, okay, I think it's balanced.
Yeah.
Go. And it's not the same as like putting a stone on Thor's shoulder.
No.
It's a different event.
Totally different. So that's my top 3 of that, which, if you do basic calculations, I think my prediction is Nez wins the show.
I think that's a fairly safe bet. But who would you have right behind? I think AJ has been mentioned a lot.
I think AJ. I think AJ takes second in the show.
And just
I think, and she only loses the show, in my opinion, because of the moving medley and because of the stone shoulder.
Okay.
I think with an Atlas stone, she's far more disadvantaged than people might guess.
It's different than a natural stone.
A natural stone, no one on earth will touch that woman, ever.
Sure.
Ever. But
So,
it's an Atlas stone.
It's an Atlas stone.
And when you have when your circumference is bigger, it's further away. It makes extension hard. Never mind the fact you're trying to shoulder.
Sure.
So you have someone who's longer and leaner and maybe equally as strong on an extension. Generally speaking, that athlete's going to be better.
Why did for all of his career, like Brian could do a big stone load.
Yeah.
But why for his entire carear did Matus beat Brian?
Same exact reason.
It's just efficient levers and it's close to the body.
It's the same reason I think Nez will beat AJ on the stone shoulder.
Potentially, yes.
Yes. Or AJ can go out there and whoop everyone's ass, but this is my guess.
Third, that's tough. That's really tough. I think
it's Olga.
I think it is Olga as well.
Yeah.
Because she's on none of these events is it like Olga's going to win, but Olga got mentioned at least as the dark horse on almost everything.
Olga's queen, consistency. The only thing that could go really awry here for Olga is the frame, because basically Olga will take last. When it comes to frame, Olga is really, really bad, and that gives room for Rebecca Roberts to take third or second even.
Sure.
So I think the safer prediction for podium I think will be in this order. I think it'll be Nez, AJ, Rebecca Roberts.
I would push back on that.
Sure.
I'd probably go Andrea third with 2 presses.
It's 2 presses. There's also a stone event and a moving event.
Fair enough.
I think it's too much point loss.
Yeah. All right. Men's side.
Have at it.
Okay.
I'll chime in.
Elephant bar deadlift. I think the top 3 is pretty locked up. I think it just depends. So, it's not even something that he's hiding. Hooper is kind of hurting right now.
Yeah.
Laws has talked about it. He's talked about it.
He's not 100%.
He's not 100%. But if there was a dude that, like if that could play the game of I'm just trying to do some smart training to get myself healthy for the day, that could just show up and some of this stuff is just percentage work for him. It's that guy.
He also wasn't 100% on the deadlift at Rogue, and he still
did
seconds,
awesome, right? So I wouldn't. I think Hooper may drop a few points in a couple areas where you might expect him to run away, but even not fresh, he's still all of these events in contention to win them.
He's that guy.
He's that guy.
He's the
right
returning
now.
champion.
So, but Thor, Hooper, but actually for my second, I will pick Trey
Over Hooper.
over Hooper.
Okay. Yeah, I don't
because
think it's a crazy
without a
guess.
suit. I think Trey is the easy pick, and the battle for third is between Hooper and Andrade, pending the back health of Hooper.
I think that's pretty safe. I think that makes the most sense to
And
me.
who will be higher than you think? Hopefully, me.
Ideally, you. That's our goal.
Yeah. It's because I think the top 3 or 4 is pretty locked up.
I would agree.
Bobby has been kind of a big question mark all offseason.
Yep.
He's been not posting a ton. He hurt himself a bit last season, so who knows? But like if Bobby pulls like Bobby can, Bobby's 5th
Yes.
in the deadlift, maybe even 4th.
5th at like a 950,
Yeah,
which
like,
is bananas town.
yeah. So, and then there's a little dogfight between myself, Singleton, and Tom Stoltman
Yeah.
for who's going to be in the mid 9s.
And that's obviously our goal is to best those gentlemen. But at the end of the day, Tom Stoltman is a freak. He's never. Yes, I know.
Aside from when he's hurting,
he's
the
nearly
man.
unstoppable.
He is.
He's so good.
so
I do think we have an opportunity to best those gentlemen if we play our cards perfectly. But if you were a betting man, you want to go off the history. I think people would probably choose Tom,
Or even
then
Evan.
to take maybe that 5th or 6th spot, or Evan. That's the safer bet just due to history.
yeah, like my path to the podium on this show, it includes probably a 7th in the deadlift.
It could, yeah.
It could.
My personal goal for you in the deadlift is to take 6th or 5th. If I could get you,
Like
to,
if we ended 5th, we did something good.
we did really good. And in fact, if you get in the top 5 on deadlift, I'll say the rest of the show, people are in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyone.
Yes. And I think there will be a farther backpack with. It's interesting though. So Matus is typically last.
I don't think he will be here.
No. So there's actually a bit of a fight in the back half between Nick, Matus, and Max, which Nick.
And
Nick.
Nick.
Guardione.
Yeah,
Guardione.
you got to do the thing.
Yeah. Which like that might even be underselling Nick. I think Nick can best those two.
I think he could.
But like it's not going to be a situation where Max can just come out and pull 350 and say I'm going to take my point and be done.
No.
They're going to have to pull
Yes.
because they're going to be fighting for 2 or 3 points there.
Especially Max, because, and we'll get into it, the rest of these events are actually amazing.
Yeah,
for him.
yeah. If Max
he can't just take last.
if Max could get for maybe like 4 points out of the deadlift, that's huge. Max is a podium prediction if he gets
could.
enough points on the
could.
deadlift. And didn't he change coaches right around North America's time last year?
I don't know.
I don't know. I want to say that he did, but
I don't know. I don't know if he works with a coach
He had a-
consistently.
he
I know
had
he's worked with a powerlifting friend of his
Yeah.
for deadlift, but I don't know.
I don't know. He just had a good end to last year.
He did great.
So
Whatever he did, keep doing that.
Yeah, keep doing that, Max. Press medley. This is kind of cool.
I like it.
I don't like it because
'Cause you have to do
I don't
it.
think the dumbbell is heavy enough to make a difference.
I think the dumbbell should be heavier, and I think the dumbbell should be second.
Yeah, I think everyone on this list, if they can't hit that dumbbell, they messed up. It's pretty light.
If you can't hit that dumbbell, you shouldn't be at the show.
Yes. The natural stone killed everyone last year,
Yeah. Well, the second one did.
so they went a little lighter.
There was a lighter one, then a heavier one. The second one, murked most.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Am I right in
No,
saying
no. You're thinking of the original.
Oh, I am thinking of the original.
Last
You're
year it
right.
was 1 press, 1 load over the hitching post, and then the shoulder.
it was a 300-pound stone,
300.
and they went lighter
So
this
it's
time.
not 300. It's a little lighter.
It might be heavier. Who knows? It's not. It's lighter.
It's crazy. But the natural stone caused people an unusual amount of problems last year.
Yeah.
As the second implement, maybe I'm underselling how hard that's going to be, but I think for the lead pack, like I said before, this is a log competition.
Yes.
It's a long Arnold-style 2-minute event. So anyone who's worth a damn in pressing, ready to be in the top 3 in this event, they're probably going to hit the log about 30 seconds in, maybe 40.
You can. Yeah.
They could. And then we have a minute and a half to go to war on the Austrian oak.
And it's going to be very uncomfortable.
I didn't just give away the weight, but I did say it's the Austrian oak, and that weighs something. So,
Google it.
So for us strength dorks out there, you know what it weighs. It's going to be fun. Top three.
I love it. I think top three is pretty obvious. I think it's you, Trey, and Hooper.
Yes. And of people in this contest, Hooper's done it 3 times on a standalone event. I've done it 3 times on a standalone event. Bobby has done it 3 times on a standalone event.
3 times now?
No, like 3 reps.
Oh, okay.
When we did it as a standalone
three
thing.
repetitions.
I've done 3. Hooper's done 3. Bobby's done 3. Trey is the only person to do 4.
He's done 4.
I'm mad, man. In that time, Bobby almost got 4.
He did.
He didn't have 1 lockout solid. So there's a lot of capacity in there. And then I think Bobby's such a question mark. I can't mention Bobby. I don't know how his off season's going.
If we're going off of recent performances on that log,
He didn't have a great time in the UK. No. So in the top 3, I'll agree with you. And my dark horse being Andrade.
He's different.
He is.
He's a thick boy.
That will come down to his conditioning.
Did you see him press 605 for 20 the other day in the gym?
What do you mean?
Watch the Texas Boys video. They referenced being able to do 605
Did he
for
squat
20.
605 for 20?
No, but they were talking shit.
That's funny.
I love those guys.
So, yeah, Andrade, that'll come down to his lungs. Does he have the gas tank to keep pressing for 2 minutes? Because other guys that could be a bit of a problem is
Matus.
Maxime Boudreau, very underrated log presser. And Evan, if he can just string together a calculated performance.
He's strong enough.
He's done big logs.
He's strong enough.
He is. So those 3 guys are big question marks.
I think you just said the top 5 right there.
Yeah. If Andrade doesn't prepare proper in his lungs, those guys are going to chip him. Mm-hmm. Yep. Timber carry.
Ooh. Now, this is going. No, we have to go on actual what's been done in the past, and then we have to talk about theory with you.
Okay.
But I think the top 3, if we're going off what's done in the past and what makes the most sense, logically speaking, at least, and I'm not very logical, at least, but it should be Matus, Hooper, and Max. I think,
should be
for the top 3.
Yeah.
I think if we're going off of based on what I'm seeing, I'll just be honest. Based on what I'm seeing with Hooper, I don't think we'll be in the top 3 this time. That's my guess, and I think it's everything to do with his bicep health and his back health right now.
Sure.
Because guess what 2 things you need when doing a frame?
Yeah.
Healthy back, healthy biceps. Now, in 8 weeks, he can be totally fine.
Yeah.
He's super smart. He does physical therapy. He
knows
the
how to
tools.
get
He has
himself
the
right.
tools to be incredible. This is just my personal prediction. I think there's a chance here he takes 4th.
Yeah. I think the top 2 is pretty locked in with Matus and Max.
Yes.
Something would have to happen.
It would be a strange set of events if it wasn't that way.
Now,
Circumstances.
if my hands can hold on,
I think you're in 3rd or 4th.
I know I can get 3rd or 4th. I know I have the strength to go up the ramp that fast.
Based on our peaking that we use, the peaking protocol for your hands for Shaw, which we're repeating now for this, you already have had a schedule.
Yes.
And your hands look great.
Who's the dark horse? Nick Guadagnone. I think he can do it.
Dude, he could.
He could.
He could beat you for 3rd or 4th.
He could. And Singleton's grip gave out on this, didn't he? Or did he finish it?
So, no, it gave out really badly. He had to pick it up a bunch. It fell. He didn't finish. But then he goes to Worlds and destroys that very heavy frame they had to do in the first event of the finals. So he's so hard to predict here.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that on that day, because I know he had an adductor strain that weekend. I don't know.
He was having a hard time in the back.
So I don't know if it was just that day. But Singleton, when it comes to moving heavy frame, is so good. He should be our 3rd.
He should be.
I'm not comfortable.
If Singleton is correct at the show, I'm not 3rd on that event. No, I'm shooting for 4th.
I don't see it.
So
yeah.
All right, day 2, big jerk. Yeah. Me and Hooper were actually DMing about this, and it was kind of fun. We're gonna train really hard to battle for an additional point.
Yeah. Well, it's funny is you need that point.
I do. I
he
need
may
that
not
point.
Need it.
I need that point. I am comfortable predicting myself to win that.
It's actually 2 different points. It's a point of pride for him and you needing the point in the show.
Because he's just a competitive dude.
Yeah.
And he's
I hope he is.
He's getting really good at, the jerk, and his overhead's blown up in the last year.
He's just good at everything.
I know. It's blown up in the last year. So we're going to battle real hard for that additional
Yeah.
point at the top of the leaderboard.
I do favor you to win it, though.
I do too. I think I can do it. And then behind him, I think it's Tom Stoltman all the way.
Oh, it's
unless somebody
it's
figures out a split jerk that I'm unaware of.
They're not gonna. They're not. It's absolutely Tom. Assuming if Tom comes in even 90% of his strength that he did when he had the Flintstone at Worlds, he's third.
Sure.
He's just third.
Yeah, I would love to.
I'm way more interested between fourth and fifth.
I would have loved to have seen an alternate universe where Matus or Maxime Boudreau met a weightlifting coach at 23.
Bro.
Right?
The amount of shows that both of them would have won.
Or just like I'd love a back rack split jerk from Matus.
It would be because he's of so very few strongman are of the athletic peak to be good on an international professional level in other sports. He's one of them. I think he could have been like a gold medalist in the Olympics for track and field.
Yeah.
For throwing. I think he's one of those just unbelievably explosive guys.
Well, so the fact that 9 out of 11 on this list aren't going to split jerk. Well, Nick is maybe doing a side quest to
He's
learn
not
the split
going to
jerk.
do it. He's not.
I think he is.
Don't do it, Nick.
He needs to.
No.
He needs to learn to split.
I believe for his
climb a
career.
few spots.
I agree for his career he does. He can't do it in 7 weeks.
He's going to try. But given that there's 9 guys pressing like pilgrims doing a push press,
Like Pilgrim.
come into the 21st century,
bunch
dorks.
of plebeians.
Yeah. I think it's very solidly Tom in third.
Yeah.
And then I think the next battle is Trey and Andrade.
I think so too.
But Trey probably takes the edge on that.
I think he does. He's done a behind the back before. He hit 2.
He got out on the 498 jump.
So that's 230. No, it's not. It's 220.
It's 225.
225.
Yeah, 225. He got out on that.
I bet you he hits 230 there.
Because I actually doubt Andrade has the mobility for a back rack.
No, he's been doing it.
Has he?
Yeah, in the video he's
How
doing.
have I just missed everything they've posted?
You're just a terrible.
Are they
fan.
only on YouTube right now?
Basically
The Texas boys on YouTube.
only. Yeah, no, he's doing behind the back. He hit like an easy 350 triple. He's working up on 1 minute rests. It was great. Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, I think top 3 is pretty locked up, and then the battle will be fun. The format of starting at a weight, unlimited attempts, just climb. People will figure out the technique as they go. I think it's gonna be sick.
I can't think of a more entertaining event for men or women.
Yes, it's gonna be super fun.
Super biased overheads, but
Timber
I really
challenge. Like I said on the women, I don't even care to predict it. I don't until we really know. I can't say.
I'll predict it. Thor, Hooper, and Matus, and then your goal is to take 4th or 5th.
Yeah,
Because I think that's it.
I have the same glimmer of hope as AJ.
Yeah.
If it's a messed up heavy reverse drag,
Yeah.
I have the strongest legs to do it, and I'm heavier than Hooper.
Yeah. I think the only reason
can
why
lean
you
my
could
body
be
away.
even in the top 4 is because your sprints are really fast.
Yeah.
Like you're very fast in
transitions.
between, and I think you will mog that actual drag.
Yes. So who knows, man? I don't know.
But I think for you, 5th or 4th is the goal.
Yeah. If it is more of a speed challenge, somebody who will chip points out of left field be Nick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Nick will destroy.
he's fresh off the
and
Arnold
and
Shaw.
Evan. And Evan.
Arnold Shaw and OSG. It's just medley fest.
Yeah.
His transitions are good. He's fast.
If the sled's light enough too, I think Evan's right up there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
he destroys.
All right. Stone to shoulder.
Ooh, this is fun. I like
It's
this.
Trump. It's smooth. They went a little bit ignorantly heavy on the
did,
heavy
and
one.
I love it.
Depending, like if it is a truly smooth stone, the heavy one is ignorantly heavy.
Yeah. Slater,
Which
please.
on paper it
Please,
doesn't seem
Steve.
that way.
Please. Just a little rough it up.
Rough the stone up, please. I think my top 2 is Matus and Trey.
Yeah, I think it's smart.
They have the best extension of anyone there,
Yeah.
the best squeeze of anyone there.
Yep.
Yes, Andrade and Hooper hit big stones at Strongest Man on Earth.
Totally different
And
lift.
so did Thor. I don't think Thor's extension is that good.
It's not.
It's not. He's a tall man.
He lifts stones like a tall athlete.
Yeah, I've never seen an extension from Thor where I'm like, that is technically really good.
No,
He's
obviously-
just 6'8".
Yes.
Yes, no. Okay, Thor could teach you a clinic on lifting stones.
Right.
But the technical extension,
Yeah.
which is what's required to shoulder at an elite level,
He's not the best at.
even at 2018 Thor when he was that guy,
He was never good at that part.
he got his ass kicked on the tombstone.
Yeah.
So I think it is a and then Hooper, who knows, man?
It's
it just
gonna come down
depends
to
on
his
the
bicep
prep
health.
that he has and how's his bicep.
I know at this point, 7 training weeks out, he still hasn't touched stone.
Sure.
So it's not, obviously that's not ideal. I'm sure he would want to touch it more, but he's incredible. So I do think there's going to be a crazy battle for third. Personally, I think it's between you and Hooper and Max.
Yeah. What about Tom? We haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it.
I haven't seen him do so much.
I think that the like default commentator answer is like Tom, King of Stones.
I don't think he is when it
Stone
comes
to
to shoulder.
shoulder is a different thing.
Yeah.
No tack's a different thing. Does he have all the tools to run away with the event?
Yes.
Yes. Like, but I don't think it's as locked in as people say.
I think he loses a lot of points here.
Yeah. So I think it comes down to, yeah, you're right. For that third spot, me, Tom, Max
Yeah.
are going to be in a fight.
Yeah.
And Max is going to be chipping it on the heels of a podium. So is Tom. So
All right. Give me your top three.
top three. Okay. If he comes in healthy, I still have Hooper winning.
Yes, of course.
Of course.
Even if he's 85 to 90% healthy, he
I
wins.
still have him winning. Yes. Thor, I think the press has put him too far back.
It's just too much.
He could still win 3 events.
Good.
He could.
I don't think it's enough to podium.
No, I don't. So second place, I genuinely think I can do it. I
Yeah.
genuinely think I can get second.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Who's calling you?
Who is it?
It's podcast time.
It's Connor Gordon.
No, hang up on him.
No. Shut up, Connor. Shut up, Connor. The sweaty pig. Anyway.
Now third, I think it. Also, I could be completely wrong, and Tom, very healthy and correct.
Yeah, could whoop your
very
ass.
solidly whoop my
Yeah,
ass.
he could. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, he could whoop my ass.
The thing is, any one of these guys on any given day, no one on this list sucks. On any given day, these guys are murderers.
No, yeah, like there's a scenario where Trey wrecks me.
Evan,
Even
Andrade.
even doing horribly in the frame,
Not you, Nick.
even doing horribly in the frame, Trey could be second.
Yeah, totally.
Trey could be first if Hooper's not correct, right? Now my likely third, I'm going to pick.
It's Trey.
I'm gonna pick Trey.
It's Trey.
I'm gonna pick Trey.
It's absolutely on that. It's absolutely
It's
Trey.
absolutely Trey. Even with the bad event, I think it's Trey.
Yeah. Personally, I think you're gonna win the show.
I think this is the first show where I've lined up in a set of events with Hooper in a prep where I'm like, there's one way.
Yeah.
There's that Doctor Strange. There's one way.
I'm gonna be. Dude, catch me in the back of the stream doing this behind every event. Behind it, just opening
There's
portals.
one way. It's very unlikely.
It's very unlikely. I give you
it's-
20% chance.
I give it a 5%. Okay. And I'm the one going to be out there, right? He's good. I need more time.
You've
to
been
catch-
wrong about you in the past.
I have been. You
No,
were
I
he said
think-
I was going to get third at Strongman on Earth, and I was like, I'm going to get fifth. And then I got third.
No,
So-
I do think the very obvious choice to win it is Hooper. I think he's too well rounded in literally everything. I think due to circumstances, though, I with these events,
yeah.
I think we have a shot here.
Are we wrong in not putting Matus on the podium?
No,
No, because he's self-admittedly not in his best shape.
he's not in his best shape, and I think the events. I think outside of the pressing and the frame.
Because like the big
Actually,
jerk,
no, I'm sorry. Outside of just one pressing event and the frame,
the
he's not
isn't-
strong enough
The
right
big
now.
jerk isn't going to be great.
No.
Yeah, he could though. Like at the end of the day,
Good. He's
the,
fucking
the
awesome.
top 6 or 7
Yeah.
could be interchanged any number of ways.
Yeah. These are just our guesses, and we're just a couple of guys on the internet.
Yeah.
So don't take what we say seriously. We
Yeah.
love all of you, most of you.
Yes. And Maxime Boudreau,
Love you the most.
I hope you have a great day today.
I really do.
I hope that this email finds you well.
Yeah. You're a good man.
Yes.
You're kind. And you have really nice delts.
Yes. No, he was the most jacked looking dude at Strongest Man on Earth.
He looks so much better than all of you with his shirt off. It's
Pretty
crazy.
cool. It's pretty cool. Except his face.
Yeah, face is rough. No, I'm joking, man. You
Love
look
you,
a
Max.
Neanderthal.
Okay. No,
Love
that's
you.
a wrap. We probably rambled longer than we should have. Had some fun with this one. Who did we miss? Why are we wrong?
Yes.
Why are we stupid?
Yeah.
Why is Alec an asshole?
Yeah, I'm the worst. Arr.
All right. We're going to shut it down and go train.
Love you,
All right,
bye.
See you guys.